folks. So Dorohedoro episode 4 is here this Wednesday. Well, last Wednesday was 3 episodes in one day. That was,
bro, that was a marathon.
So
well worth it. Like, I get it, being gone for 6 years. They're like, here, 3 episodes, shut up, enjoy.
Yeah,
okay, yeah. And I did.
Yep. And so we're gonna jump right into this one. Thank you guys for the comments that you've been writing, like in the non-useless spoilers as well.
I super appreciate it, and I love all you guys joining in on the conversation and really engaging with us. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm really, really geeked that you guys are talking to us about something I love so much, and that you guys love it too. So, and that my friend and I loves it. So, yay! Thank you. Yes, comment more, talk to us more. This is great. Thank you. I really, really love it. Thank you.
Yep. All right, let's jump into episode 4.
Let's talk about side hustle. Topic of conversation that's been happening a lot this week.
Meanwhile, they were caught on the security camera already. Meanwhile.
All right, Bullseye.
Okay, I thought they failed. Oh yeah, someone explained that the cross-sides, they're sorcerers, but they can't use their smoke.
Well, they see the giant hole in the back of her head.
What the fuck was that? Oh my god. This is oh my god. No, none of this is gonna work. A suicide. This shit's gonna break.
Gonna pull the ceiling down or some bullshit. This is so fucking crazy.
This is magic, man. All right.
What is going on?
That? Oh no! What the fuck was that, Kayla? No, you gotta just always like be alert when you're watching this series, man. Like the most random shit just happens. God damn, Asu is going through it. Oh god, he's like skewered. Oh. They're taking his horn? Oh my god. No. Oh no. What the fuck? Are they going to split him? Oh, they are skewering him, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god, he's still alive after all of this? Oh no. They stripped him of his devil form. Is this what happens? Oh fuck. That was insane. That was insane. No. They're eating Asu? No.
やっぱり自分だった。千里眼も持っていて、場所を
Wait.
自由に指定できるらしい。
Asu.
Yeah, this is that's what I was like, yeah, this is Asu, yeah.
お前あんまり魔法で楽ばかりしてないで。
することが最初の修行らしい。じゃあ仕事に行ってきます。
歩いてかなきゃ意味ない。私は初めて一人で留守番をした。餃子を包むお手伝いを済ませたら、あっという間に暇になった。
At like 5? This is crazy.
久しぶりに魔法を使ってみようと思い。
プレゼントも持ってきた。
Yeah, this
面
man.
白いとこだったのに。髪乾かさなくっちゃ。え？
Uh-oh.
あれ？
なに？本当は十字目のアジトの日も暮れちまうし。じゃあ今夜
That's
は
right.
どっかで休もうよ。
The-
アジト探しは明日からってことで。
Asu's magic has disappeared because he's no longer a devil. Timing is all different right now, man.
でも
Uh-oh.
二階堂。二階堂。さっきはすまな。
許してあげ。
このクソゴミ何のつもりだ。
これには訳が。
なんだと。二階堂はトカゲ男と逃げただと。
Mm-hmm.
じゃあここ最近の二階堂は。
ごめん、俺だったんで。
キノコになれ。
ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい。
Oh. Bro. So, we just finished watching episode 4 of season 2 for Dorohedoro, and that was graphic. What happened to Atsu was fucking wild. Yeah, the biggest telling of it is, yeah, you can be stripped of your devil powers, and it looks to be a very painful experience. Took his horn with the mask, shredded all the meat off his body, turned him back into a sorcerer, and said you can keep your life as a sorcerer, but his sin for concealing the truth about Nikaido is that he has to be stripped of his right to be a devil, and to be a devil is an invitation that very few seem to get. So that's something that was also just reconfirmed. But once again, how graphic that was wild. Nikaido's backstory. I mean, we're getting into it, but it's been cut short. Once again, why Nikaido wrote this in the book? Well, she probably felt like she had no choice. And her time was coming to an end, slash, like the end was going to be using her against her will. So I guess this was like a last ditch effort for anyone that would have read her diaries. Yeah, and Kaiman is just right. Well, layman at this point, because he's different. And then the very beginning with Dokuga and these other cross-eyed boys and Boss Lady, like all they were doing for that was just so fucked. It just started off fucked, and every single thing that they were trying to do, trying to like have her drown, trying to hang her, and then having the diet tapeworm in her body come out. Yeah, that was just fucked. This whole episode was just fucked from beginning to end. Um, yeah, wild, absolutely wild. I don't like this episode compared to even episode one. Like this one was the most one was like like spine tingling. Like it's just one of those because like I mean you wanted Asu to live. I mean he's living, just not like how he's been used to these last couple of years. So the body horror was kind of crazy. Yeah. Yeah. All in all, episode 5. I don't know how we go on up this, but yeah. What'd you think?
This episode to me, like episode 1 felt the most like a horror movie. Truly. The stuff with the landlady, I'm legit flabbergasted. Like, I'm like stemming from my comments from like the last episode where I talked about uh using fat using fat bodies as a denominator for how people treat fat bodies and villainy and stuff like that. And uh I like this up like this that was just so weird. It was doing things where we've discussed this offline. One of my least favorite things in the horror genre and in a lot of genres, honestly. I don't I I can't stomach the abuse of female bodies. Um and especially after they're dead, it's just especially like stomach churning for me. So that was like super difficult to watch, like real tough to sit through that. Just the blatant disregard for her as an individual. And I know it's meant to be played up as comedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um and I'm also trying to rationalize it as well. If it was any other landowner, landlord, if it was a guy or a differently shaped woman, or a devil, our cross-eyed gang doesn't want to get caught, right? Especially like he said by N. If N finds out, then they're fucked, right? So they would have been doing this type of hijinkery, um, regardless, right? Regardless of the body. But we also have to understand that in media, the body is also important. The abuse being portrayed is important. And or the disregard for her body. No, they abused her body pretty badly. And just the jokes about her size and how heavy she is, it was just really tough to watch. And then to have, a fucking diet worm fucking chest burst out of her like it's aliens and shit. Like I know with the octaves of my voice, my mic doesn't always pick up what I'm saying or the sounds I make. I screamed. I like screamed. I screamed. Um, that was tough. That was really tough. Um, that this big woman is seen as a nuisance, as a predator, and she's just killed so flippantly. And I mean, she is a predator, right? She's preying on these men. And I'm again not taking that away from the character itself, right? That character is a predator. She's preying on these men and trying to use sex as the way to coerce them into not being able to pay their rent, right? And that's bad. That's bad if men do it. That's bad if women who are thin, young, and beautiful do it. It's just bad. It's predatory. But the flippancy with how she's killed, the flippancy with how she's, how they're speaking about her, and it's tough because like when I look at I don't want to empathize with a predator such as that, but it's hard to not have the fat phobia in the back of my like on the forefront. It's not even in the back of my in the forefront of my brain and how I'm viewing this, and then just how female bodies are disregarded in such a way. So yeah, that's tough. Even with how this dude talks about Nikaido, calling her a bitch because he hates her, because N wants her. It's tough to deal with that level of misogyny that even happens in things that you love, right? It's I can never stop being can never stop having it's just I've talked about this in other stuff that we've watched where I can't turn off misogyny or the how these things are played out in media because everyone's going to perceive me as a woman, society perceives me as a woman. I grew up a girl, whatever. I go about life in this body, and yeah, that was just really tough and really just horrifying. Um really just horrifying watching that. Like that felt absolutely horrific to me. Um and then just to go with the absolute horror of what's happening to Asu is crazy. That I'm not I don't like birds in general. Like, I think birds are beautiful. But the way that Store looked was so fucking crazy, and the way that they animated it when his um knife tendrils went into the orifice where Asu's horn, like that was so it was a lot of weird things are happening in that moment in my brain. It's like it is a violation that's happening to Asu, right? And then the sounds that Store was making and the way it was just like undulating and then going crazy, like that was so wild to watch. Like, it was so crazy to watch. And then just to have this body left bloodied and different and changed, right? That this violation has changed obviously through visual storytelling and what
Yeah.
the story is showing is going with. But like to see it's so much. And then like I can't it's just like yeah. Um it was horrifying that half of the episode. And then to think like just how it transitioned to a bright sunny day is like that's also very horrific. And just to have it go from what this what happened to Asu and then somewhere so far off his friend, his best friend, his niece or whatever, right? His ward, his charge, someone he cares about deeply is consuming his flesh and meat, right?
Yeah.
It's like that thing that I've mentioned before. Like something can happen to you all the way somewhere else, and then the people who you care about are affected by it or are touched by it in some way like far off or
Far
way
away.
down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was that was a lot. That was a lot. And and watching also this girl get her ass kicked by her boss last episode or second episode or something like that. Like, I know that there are varied degrees of abuse and hard things that happen to all bodies in this show, right? Um, but even when I'm gonna call them the hillbilly cross-eyed gang out in the
Mm.
village, the evil residents, um, when they were like, when they got Noe and they ripped her clothes off, it really was just like, oh, just this is so much for my brain. It's just um it's a lot. It's themes like this and instances like this are why like I stay away from a lot of horror stuff because we rely on those storytelling mechanisms,
Mhm.
just the violation of female bodies, and it's so prevalent in horror, but in all media, really. I mean, I could find a drama, and I was actually just thinking the other day, I'm just like, I'm so sick and tired of seeing women being raped in media. Like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
Mm.
Um, but I also think like it's from my perspective, I love Dorohedoro, right? I
Mm.
love this show. I've said it the entire time how much I love this show. I love this anime. I love the story that's happening, and I'm so intrigued by the overarching mystery. Um, and I think it's well within my right to love something so much and be able to
Mm.
criticize it in the ways that it's doing its storytelling. I'm not saying that like everything needs to be like martinis and rainbows or whatever. It's just very hard to watch. Like it is why I stay away from like a lot of horror movies, like moments like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was just really really tough to watch. Like if I'm ever doing a rewatch of the show, I think probably the episode that the landlady gets killed and this episode I probably would skip over. Like I don't know if I could ever watch it again, or it'd be a really, really long time before I watch it. Yeah, this was horrific. Truly, it felt this in episode one felt the most hard task to me, and like I'm sorry, I'm rubbing my stomach because like I'm so serious when I say that was stomach churning. Um, and then I'm also just thinking about like the treatment of Ebisu and just having Fujita go, well, she's not really one of us. I could kick her the fuck out. And
Mhm.
just ready to continue to disregard her, right? Just like with what the whole story around Ebisu's doing. But then when she makes a decision to leave on her own, it's like, no, you can't go. It's like,
Yeah.
bro, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah. After
I
saying all that, he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm going
yeah,
home. What?
like
You just
Chuck
told
the
her
Deuces,
you just
I'm
told her to kick
out.
rocks with her shoes off, bro. What are you doing?
Pretty much. Um, yeah, it's so weird because then even having N when this dude is like still faking Nikaido
Yeah.
and he runs away like I don't want to talk about it. And how N like runs away and goes, I wouldn't force you to do it, but it's like that it's such a weird thing because bro, you forced her into the contract so
Yeah.
violently. So violently.
Yeah.
And to shower her with it really is like it truly is an abusive relationship to shower her with gifts and just because Birdhead is like so infatuated and in love with and it makes it easier for N to just kind of give in. um Whereas if it was still Nakaido, I'm sure her consciousness would still be pushing against the situations that are going on.
Yeah.
And it's such a crazy thing watching this. And like all in all though, like I think for me how I have to watch the entire season and read the manga, how I feel about this the mangaka's perspective in writing this, knowing that it is a female writer, a woman writer, mangaka who's serious this is, and trying to understand like their perspective in this type of storytelling. Because there is a part where also being a woman for the most part, also being a woman, where it's a little easier to stomach sometimes when another woman is telling stories like this as opposed to it being a man and being it male gazy in a way, or just the idea of that a lot of men don't see female bodies as real things. And like, yeah, I just really, really wonder how I'm gonna feel when all is said and done, and I've in like have taken in the entire series and trying to understand the whole perspectives of it. Because I've said before, also like to asterisk that though, just because you're a woman doesn't mean you know how to write women. I've read enough misogynistic bullshit from women who have internalized misogyny and hatred for themselves, take it out on female characters on the page or on screen, um, in such vehement, disgusting ways that it's just like, okay, so I guess you're one of them too. Um, yeah, that was horrific for me. Oh God. And it was also very like you mentioned to me, and I think we probably talked about it on some of the video, but like Hellraiser being one of your favorite horror
Mhm.
movies, that what was happening at Osu was very Hellraiser. Like it,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was taking a page out of Pinhead and how people get mutilated,
yeah,
and I was just like, that's crazy.
yeah. So
that
it's
yeah
it's also like that too, where I could see where references are coming from, and I appreciate the references and the homages because it's just like, well, yeah, that was very reminiscent of that, and just the look of store and just how oh god,
yeah
oh god, just thinking of store makes me want to throw up. Yeah, it's so it's so crazy. And to wrap it up, I'm glad that we're getting a bit of Nikaido's backstory. I think
mhm,
it's just like writing in the diary is just an expositional way to get her backstory without us actually having her need to tell it.
mhm.
I am very interested in what her power actually are. Like she's creating objects, um, as opposed to like
Just
transformation magic like
yeah
Ebisu's. I mean, I think we've seen that with a bunch of other sorcerers too. I mean, N does it, right? And
yeah
like cellularly changes an individual or non-living object
yeah to
into
mushroom
mushrooms.
yeah
But it is very fascinating how hers is very like a sci-fi horror, which makes me even more fascinated because like I think of like Event Horizon or I think of Cube or the box from Hellraiser, right? It is
mhm,
very also what's in a box.
yeah
So I like that, we're also getting the vantage point of this is just a family who was just trying to live and lived in a very nice place in the sorcerer world and was trying to get by, but there are still horrible sorcerers out there who were, still trying to it's much like the real world, right? We go about
yeah
here, some of us do our best to be kind and generous and thoughtful and compassionate to others, and then there's somebody in the woods who's hunting little kids and then sees us at look come upon the body and then wants to chop us up too. Like it is very that. But it is sweet to see that Nikaido had a loving family.
yeah
Her aunt and uncle seem pretty chill. And I say that now not knowing what kind of sorcerers they were, but they seem
yeah
pretty chill. And I'm really concerned about what happens with I wanted to call her Ranma, her little friend when she was flying. I was like, this is not
yeah
out of Dragon Ball. Like, and like this was such a weird episode for me. God, because that part felt like so whimsical and so lovely, and then just the horrors, just the constant
yeah
horrors. Um, yeah, okay, I'm done. Until next week, I'm sure I'll think of something else, but
yep
yeah, just wild stuff happening. Yeah.
yeah. Well, next week, Dorohedoro, episode 5. Who knows what the hell is gonna happen, bro? Well,
This
it's already
point,
done.
at
Well, for
literally
anime only, yeah.
at this point, they can like come out of my screen and rip my face off, and I'd be like, "Well, this seems right with the show."
Yeah.
Oh, and also I agree with you about Kaiman. He's obviously very different, very lethargic and not of himself.
Yeah,
But I
he's
guess that's what
flaming right
happens
now.
when a yeah, I guess that's what happens when a piece of you fucking self exits and bounces. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Folks, catch you next week. You already know. Houses.